One Year HRT Update Video by Jessica Marie Renner, starring Jessica Marie Renner.
Hi guys, it's your girl Jessica coming at you live, raw, and uncut today to talk about a real important topic, my 1 year HRT update.
So talk about the journey that you've been through at this point from your 1 year leading on to almost your 2 year.
Well, I'm going to preface that with a bit of a backstory to provide a little context. When I was a young child, I always knew something was different about me. You know, all throughout elementary school from 5 to, 11, and then when I was in middle school, high school, I just never really could put too fine of a point on what was different about me. And when I hit 25, that's when I first heard the term transgender. So when I was 25, I first heard the term transgender, and I remember sitting in front of the TV and just having one of those moments, okay, so there's a term for how I've felt pretty much, my entire, life up to this point. Now, cut to, me when I was 34, that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to start transitioning, and it wasn't until I was 35 that I started transitioning medically, and that's what leads us to today.
Okay, so I know that when you started to begin transitioning, your family kind of distanced themselves from you. You still got to see them every once in a while, but you kind of didn't see them as much as you wanted to. So how has that been so far?
Okay, I'm going to level with you guys. If you're transitioning already, or if you're, just coming out and wanting to do this, just be aware and be prepared for the fact that your family is potentially going to disown you or even excommunicate you from the whole family. I know this because it happened to me, and it's gonna hurt, but just know it's not your fault. It's entirely on them.
Correct. And for those that do need a little bit of a help or a friend there for them during this tough battle or whatever, what do you recommend? Do you recommend therapy if they don't have anybody?
100%. Therapy is the way to go. It's the only way.
And for people that don't have, say, Medi-Cal or any funding, what do you recommend? Do you think they should research and see if there's a group or something?
Absolutely, 100%. Contact your local state or your
LGBT resources.
Yeah, hit them up because they're going to know all of the available therapists, doctors that are going to be able to help you be the most authentic you that you can be.
So, I know that some people have a hard time with insurance covering some of the hormone replacements and stuff like that. Do you have any problems with your transitioning with income or medical?
I have the good fortune to live in the state of California and being on Medi-Cal because I knew and I did my homework, and this is what I'm going to vehemently recommend. Do your homework, do your research. My insurance, Medi-Cal, covers the hormones, the sex reassignment surgery, and breast augmentation. That's just what I know. There could be a slew of other things that they covered that I don't know of right now. But from, what I know so far, those are the things that they cover.
Okay, since you actually been 1 year taking your hormones and stuff like that and transitioning different changes throughout your body and stuff like that. So leading on to your 2 year, is there anything that that has been difficult, and just be open and honest and give your input?
For me personally, the only problem I really had was my family. Cuz society honestly could really give a flying crap, you know, about you. And you really shouldn't care what they think anyway. As long as you're happy with yourself, that's all that matters.
Okay, so was there any depressing parts throughout the year or any scary moments?
Scary moments? No. Depressing moments? Aside from my family, that was the only one.
Okay. How about any uplifting good times, good experiences, anything that is going to embrace the new year?
Going to Las Vegas for the first time in my life, honestly, was, I swear, the most fun I'd ever had because people didn't even give me so much as a second glance. And then, going to San Francisco with, that, with the town being, pretty much founded on, the LGBT community, it was just a really comfortable experience for me to be out and be, who I am. And yeah, that's pretty much, those are my top two experiences, where I had the most fun.
Okay, so um, is there any ways that you can advocate and give some good resources to those that don't know where to go, what doctors to choose, what therapists to choose, or where to actually go for, some guidance, or to hang out with people that kind of relate to them, like either male to female, female to male, or vice versa, or any way that they identify as?
Honestly, your local LGBTQ board or community is going to be your number one resource. Number two would be getting in touch with your local mental health board because, as I said before, your mental health safety net is going to be the number one thing you rely on the most. I just cannot stress that enough.
Okay, so what are some do's and don'ts, and what has worked for you and what hasn't worked for you throughout the year that you've been transitioning?
Man, that's a damn good question. Well, my number one piece of advice for a do is being patient because your body's going to be changing, and this is basically considered second puberty. And if you recall back to your first puberty, you developed over years. Same thing with this. You're putting your body through a second round of that. So just be patient. Things are going to happen and develop on their own time. For don'ts, you don't have to quit drinking. That's by far, the biggest misconception. Just cut down to like one or two drinks a day. But a definite do and don't is do quit smoking of any kind And I mean no vaping, no smoking marijuana now that it's legal in California, no cigarettes, no e-cigarettes, nothing. You need to be nicotine free. There is a elevated risk of blood clots. Now, when you get to the point where I am, your doctor is going to want to add progesterone, and that comes with an elevated risk of blood clots and now even stroke. So do yourself a favor and quit while you can.
So, for those that are kind of stressing or go to the smoking or drinking because of their stressful times, what do you recommend for, positive ways that they can take on their stress? Like whether it's reading a book, going out walking, you know.
If your smoking or drinking is really at a problem level, go to your local NA or AA meetings. They're going to give you the support and the resources you need to accomplish this goal. It's hard, I know. I'm trying to quit. I'm quitting myself. Not trying to quit, I'm actually quitting. So, do what I didn't do.
Okay, so we're going to the last question before the wrap up. Is there any surprising moments that you look forward to your 2 year and hopefully celebrating a couple months from where we're videoing? What do you look forward to your 2 year going on to possibly your 3 year?
Quite possibly the biggest pleasant surprise that I was met with was breast development. I mean, I did not honestly expect for my body to take to the feminizing hormones as well as they did. And honestly, where I'm at now, I mean, I couldn't be happier.
So, the final wrap up, is there anything that you would like to say ending this documentary?
Honestly, with transitioning, it's not a cookie cutter thing. So, it's gonna depend on you and what you do in the moment and throughout your transition that's going to shape your overall transition and your overall experience. As I said before, this is one of those definite your mileage may vary, type situations.
So, do you have any inspirational quote or motivational quote that you can end this documentary with to possibly motivate those watching or listening right now that are transgendered or transitioning?
Honestly, I always have loved Mahatma Gandhi's one of his quotes, which was, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
So, one of the questions that we love to hear with confidence, are you a woman?
Yes,
That's the
100%. I just got my physician's form for my legal name and gender change filled out properly, and it states definitively, beyond a shadow of a doubt, no question, that I am now female.
And that's a good answer because you said it with confidence. You did your documentary. You had a kind of a struggle, but you're still confident, and that's what we like to hear. So now we're going to end right now, and hopefully you guys got some inspiration out of this, and we look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing Jessica's update for her 2 year. And we'll probably have some videos throughout there. There might be some good times, rough times that we need to get out. But thank you for listening, and stay tuned for our 2 year and possibly some updates throughout the 2nd year. Thank you, and thank you for watching Jessica Marie Renner.